What is up, everyone? It's once again. Today we're here with another reaction video of PM7 ranking every Nintendo Switch Pokemon game, and I really want to know what he says. I really want to know his opinion on different things and how he views each Pokemon game, because I do think he has a very different outlook to Pokemon than a lot of other people. And I know a lot of people really don't enjoy the Nintendo Switch Pokemon games, but I know I did. I actually did enjoy them, probably a lot more than the average person. So I really do want to see what he says. I want to see if we agree with certain things and whatnot. So let's get into the video. Let's see what he has to say on the Nintendo Switch Pokemon game.
We also got a patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, giving us
really
a taste
good
of what the future
really good. I actually saw his stream on it. It looks so much better, so much better
on the Nintendo Switch, and then rank them by my least favorite to my absolute
oh wait, he showed BDSP as his least favorite. It's gonna be the bottom. It's gonna be at the bottom.
The only
how much you guys want to bet?
Using for this list is my own personal opinion, so try not to get too upset, especially as
I don't think I'll be upset if you put BDSP at the bottom. I don't know if anyone would be upset, honestly.
Switch era. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Everyone owes me $10. Just saying.
So incredibly disappointing in basically every single way outside of the grand under.
Honestly, as a Gen 4 fan, this game just did not live up to the expectations. Like, if you look at all the other remakes, a lot of the other remakes really does make the games a lot better and adds in all those new mechanics and stuff from the prior games, or the games that are currently out, to make the older games a lot better, right? And this one just didn't really do any of that.
Ground. That was pretty cool. They added some cool things there. I know some people enjoyed some of the shiny hunts they did for the legendaries, but for me, I beat the game one time
and then just never played it again.
Really never went back. Pokemon Platinum, one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time.
I already knew what that game was going to be. I knew the second that the trailer released, I was like, okay, I know what this game is going to be. I'm just going to play Diamond and Pearl if I really want to play it again. And even then, I would rather play Platinum.
In general, showed me how much I truly love Pokemon and the amount of different things I enjoyed with the series. But Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just left so much to be wanted with these games. I don't regret playing through the game a single time.
You really don't need to. You don't really need to play BDSP. Like, if you play the originals or you play Platinum, you know exactly what these games are going to be. So, like, with that said, you're not really missing out on much. I feel like really the only reason why you should ever play BDSP is if you never play the originals. Like, if you didn't play Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum, and you really want to experience Gen 4, then these games are going to be perfect for you. I do think you're going to enjoy them. But if you're a longtime fan like me and you grew up playing these games when they first aired, you don't really need to go and purchase these games. Like, there's no reason for it. I wonder if he's also going to put Legends Arceus at the top.
I haven't really played them enough to have too much else to
because
say.
he plays a lot of Legends Arceus.
And as I put every single Pokemon game on this list, I will have to name the tier they're now in. So why did they do these games? Why did they do this? They gave us Pokemon Legends Arceus, and that was phenomenal. We'll get to that later. But why this? Why the chibi characters? Why not have it be Pokemon Platinum? Just why?
Exactly.
Moving on, the tier above these games, just gonna be the Pokemon games that I didn't really play on the Nintendo Switch. And also Pokemon Home. I don't even know how that snuck its way onto this list.
I was about to say, you know these games are bad when Pokemon Home is above Diamond and Pearl, or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Okay, we're not talking about the originals, even though I know a lot of people don't like this.
It's not a game. It works well. I like Pokemon Home. I don't know how to rank it compared to anything outside. In defense, Pokemon Home, I use it way more than I will ever play Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. So that's automatic above those two games. Okay, if I put more hours into Pokemon Home than the actual Pokemon game itself, you know that's a bad game. BDSP. But Mystery Dungeon, I never really gave.
I never played Mystery Dungeon.
Maybe I'll play it more at some point. It just wasn't something I played a lot as a kid. Like, I knew the Mystery Dungeon
games.
To
anyone watching this, what Mystery Dungeon game should I play? Like, which one should I try first? Right? Because I know nothing about it, but I've always heard that like the stories are actually like pretty good, at least with some of them. I don't know where to start. Like, do I start with the first one? Do I start with the best one? Do I start with the worst one so then it gets gradually better? Do I do the one on the Switch because I didn't even know there was one? Where do I start? I don't know.
I missed out, but it wouldn't make sense.
I'm kind of lost here.
So I don't really know. And actually, it turns out the rest of the games that I didn't play aren't on the tier list, so that's pretty perfect. Any game you do not see here,
wait, yeah, do they have? Oh no, they have Unite. I want to see what he says about Unite.
Mobile and on the Switch that I didn't decide to include
because obviously,
not only did I love play them, but I just felt weird comparing them to the main console games. But this is where things get a lot more difficult, as we really gotta make a big decision. It's pretty easy to say Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are your least favorite Pokemon Switch
for sure.
But what can you put after that? Actually, I don't think this is too difficult. I think Pokemon Quest has to be next. Now, I really enjoyed Pokemon
I did actually try it out a little bit. It just wasn't it.
The shiny mechanics in this game were actually
it wasn't it for me.
Some, extra replayability. But
I don't know. If people want me to go back and like replay it or something, I guess we could try it. But
I'm pretty sure there's a Chinese version of Pokemon Quest out there that's gotten continual updates and a bunch more generations in it. And it's really sad we never got that. I don't understand why we got Pokemon Quest. It seemed like people enjoyed it, then we didn't really get much more. It just felt like there was so much.
It really wasn't it for me. I don't know.
It's disappointing, but I really enjoyed playing it. I didn't play through it one time and set it down. I played through it and then wanted to come up with reasons to play it even more. Just unfortunately, the content ran out pretty quickly and I haven't touched it in a while. So maybe someday it gets new content, but I've pretty much given up any hope for that. But what to name this tier? Pokemon Quest. The Squidward looking out window tier. I'm just looking out at how fun the Chinese version of Pokemon Quest looks. Just so many generations, so many Pokemon,
so applicable.
So much content. What could have been? Similarly, I think I'm gonna have to go with another side game.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure was both mobile and also on the Switch with Pokemon Unite. Now, I really enjoyed Pokemon Unite.
That hurts me. I need to know why. Because honestly, if you've been on the channel long enough, we play Pokemon Unite every Sunday on stream. Come hang out with us. I love Unite. Unite is so fun.
When I played it, but it's a game that I really only played for a few weeks. Every once in a while, I've gotten back into it.
What is this?
It just wasn't something that really captured me.
I never saw that. I did come in rather recently.
Really stuck with it and absolutely love it, but it's just something that I feel like started to fade away. And the best version
it
of
definitely
Pokemon
looks like
Unite is when you can play it with a full team of friends and you're pretty dedicated to it.
Yeah,
this may be more of a me issue than an issue with the actual game itself. It got a bunch of updates. There's a lot of cool Pokemon in it, but I just didn't enjoy it enough to really stick around. And honestly, that's kind of a boring reason to rank a game, but it's a pretty genuine answer here. I really enjoyed the game. It was pretty fun. Seems like a great one, and maybe someday I will get back into it. Now it seems like
I do think they need to add more content.
Like something like
I truly do think like if Pokemon Unite adds in like a few more maps and like a couple more game modes that like actually like sticks, like the first 500 mode is so fun, especially if it's like a really close game. I feel like that is peak Pokemon Unite at the moment. If they add in a few more game modes and a few more maps and like bring people back to the game, add in a bunch of Pokemon, like do like a voting system to vote for like the next Pokemon that people want, I think people will actually love to play this game again. Like, I think it's so fun. It's just, I feel like the people that are working on it aren't doing enough, probably because they have so many people working on, Generation 10 or Legends EA. Like, they're trying to work on like the next big thing, and Unite was just kind of like, a fun little side project that they did. Which is sad because I feel like it has so much potential to be a really good game. I really enjoy it. I love playing it with chat, but I am also very biased because I've been playing it rather recently. So I can understand. But I would definitely rank it a lot higher. It'd probably be like top 3 or 4.
That feels right. But this is where this
Mammoth is still really good.
Incredibly difficult. Every game left here I absolutely love and I've played a lot of, but something has to be ranked next.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I could put here,
I'm gonna say Sword and Shield.
Unfortunately, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Now it's very important to note that I am ranking these with how they function on the Switch in mind.
I knew he was gonna do this with this game. I personally really love Scarlet and Violet. It's definitely not the best if you want to be objective, but personal favorite, I still do think it is Scarlet and Violet. It's one of my favorite games. Like, the problem is, if you had a bad experience with this game because of a lot of the problems and like the graphics and whatnot, I can understand not liking it. But like, I feel like this game had such a great story, great characters, great Pokemon, You can literally explore and just play it however you want. And then playing with friends, it's just so fun. And also with all the DLC, I don't really want to include that because that's more like extra stuff. But like if you did, there's a bunch of stuff there as well that just adds more to the game and more story. Really, really great Pokemon like Ogerpon and stuff. I really enjoy this game, but I can also understand it like it's not the most well put together game, right? There's a lot of problems with it, so I can definitely see how that can push some people away, even though there are great things about it. I hope he talks about the good things, but
these games on the Switch 2, there's a chance they go all the way up to number 1. The improvements are insane. It's really changed a lot about the game, and I'm really excited.
Dude, there's so many.
But on the original Switch, these games had a lot of issues, and it was rumored for a while that we would be getting a big update and potentially the Switch 2 around the second DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and instead that didn't happen.
Yeah.
We got the second DLC, and we didn't get really anything Pokemon wise for over a year, and it's been tough to have these be the last games as we're waiting for things, you know, to be new and exciting, and even just for these to be fixed, because they eventually did
I swear to God, I'm the worst person to ask about this because some of that stuff just makes me laugh. Like I can understand how it can be frustrating, but seeing it, and I guess it's because I'm looking from the outside looking in because I didn't have many problems like that. That just makes me laugh as opposed to like make me annoyed. But like again, I can understand why people are so upset about this. It just makes me laugh seeing all the dumb glitches in the game.
There's a lot that I love about these games. I think the DLC was fantastic.
Yeah.
It added a lot. There's a lot of replayability with them. But just compared to everything else, they just were games that were clearly never completely finished.
It was too rushed. I think if this game had another year, it probably would have been a lot higher for a lot of other people.
That's incredibly
but
disappointing. While games like Pokemon Sword and Shield were definitely complained about when they first came out and people did have issues with them, I really think looking back at those games, a lot of the issues like the whole, you know, the decks, we don't have every single Pokemon, that's just become a staple moving forward, and a lot of those complaints can be moved into Scarlet and Violet. A lot of the issues with the art I think are kind of similar with Scarlet and Violet, but it really wasn't until those games that I had a lot of issue just playing in different areas. And while they were certainly not unplayable and there were fixes early on in their lifespan to make them games that I made content on for years and years, and I have had a wonderful experience playing the games, it's just really disappointing to sit here today looking back knowing what they should have been and could have been for so long, and it's just taken forever to get here. So honestly, if this was a Switch 2 ranking, I don't know, maybe in the future, maybe these things jump up to number 2 or 3. I mean, they may end up being some
because I do, again, like barring a lot of the problems with the mechanics and whatnot, the game itself is great. Like that is the worst thing, and I really do hope Game Freak learns from this game for the future games for Pokemon. That like these games were great. People, I feel like, love the actual game itself. It's just the mechanics, dude. Like the problems with the game and how it actually functions is why people rank it so low or give it so much hate. It's not the actual game that I feel like people really hate. Like I feel like the actual game people love and they want more of that. But you gotta give it more time, and that's definitely something I'm hoping that they're gonna do moving forward. Because obviously we're big fans of Pokemon.
Scarlet and Violet's lagging behind the others.
Yep.
That feels accurate. New Pokemon Snap still being here and not being ranked might
Dude,
be
it looks so good.
But we're gonna get to
I actually haven't played Pokemon Snap, but I have seen a little bit.
Pokemon
he talked about Pokemon Snap and then did Let's Go Eevee. What the hell?
You know, bad games or disappointing in any way, shape, or form.
No,
I absolutely love these games. They're just perfect for what
they're
are.
Just fun games.
A ton to the games.
Yeah.
But there's not really a lot that you feel like you're missing with them.
I feel like I don't remember exactly where I put these on my own list, but I loved Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Obviously, the only problem that I feel like anyone really has, if you're just like a hardcore Pokemon fan, is that you don't really like the catching mechanics. You just want to like battle and go through everything. But like barring that, and even then, like some of that could be fun. Like the game is great. It looks great. It plays well. You get megas in this game as well, and it's just fun. And it also allows for so many people to get brought into the Pokemon community because there's a lot of Pokemon Go fans. So I really enjoyed it. I love it. I do want to replay this game at some point, so it will probably be on the list of games I want to try to replay. here very, very shortly. But I love these games. I honestly probably would have put it a little bit higher, maybe, but I don't know.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are some of the most enjoyable Pokemon games of all time, if not just the most.
I'm pretty sure shiny hunting in this game was like really, really fun and like a lot easier than a lot of the other games.
Really, the only thing
so maybe that's also something I maybe try to do. And hopefully they actually do another Let's Go game, because then I'll probably do it there for sure.
People like Johnstone beyond max out shiny hunting in this game and what you can do with that video. I don't know how much is left with these games. It's a game that I think most, if not all, Pokemon fans should appreciate and play one time, but I don't know if I'd ever recommend doing a secondary run. There's not really a challenge run, you know, there's only so many Pokemon in the game. It's not like your second playthrough you're gonna have a completely different team. It's just a really enjoyable playthrough of a Pokemon game, and it's kind of perfect to have in the middle of this list. If we ever got another Let's Go game, I would not be disappointed, but I would hope it would be like a BDSP situation where we have this and then maybe something a little experimental after.
And
speaking of that little experimental game, we'll get to it in a bit. For now, what am I naming this?
Dude, he keeps teasing it. I think it's going to be a number one. Like, I feel like you can only put it in one spot. Like,
something I failed to mention.
I can't wait to see what he says, though.
Whoop, whoop. That feels right. Some of the
Charizard ran away.
Pokemon just ran away. But now we've gotten to the top 3 games, and this is difficult.
I feel like
really
Snap has to come up
sneak
next.
new Pokemon Snap into the top.
Yeah.
But I think this is where we put this game, and I will defend this placement to the death. I do not care. New Pokemon Snap.
I haven't played it. I do actually want to try it out.
I loved Pokemon Snap so much as a kid, and as I got older, I always went back to replay the game. It was a very quick game, a very simple game, but it was the best game we had ever gotten to really just immerse yourself in the Pokemon world. If you think about it, when you play through a Pokemon game, you kind of wish you were immersed in the Pokemon world, but it just never really felt like you were fully in it. But with Pokemon Snap, you got to see all their interactions. It really feels like you're in like their home going through it. And while a game where you just take pictures doesn't sound super fun, all of the different things you can find
it's kind of the same thing with Unite, though. Like, it's just another game that's different from the originals. Like, don't get me wrong, I like battling through the gym leaders in the Elite Four, but after a while, it gets repetitive. Having games like these that are so different and, you know, so removed from like the normal standard Pokemon games, I think is great. That's why I love Unite. It's just so different from all the other games that it feels refreshing. It doesn't feel like the same thing over and over again.
Version of Pokemon Snap for so
I don't know.
What would happen? And when new Pokemon Snap was announced, I could not have been more excited. Unfortunately, it came out at a bad time for me, so I wasn't able to make a lot of content on this game, but I have played so much new Pokemon Snap in my life. I mean, I've gotten so many people into this game, and every time I've just heard rave reviews. There's so much more content in this game than you would expect. Not only is it incredibly replayable because you want to go through and get better, you know, scores on each course and unlock things you missed. There's 4 different, you know, types of photos you can get for every single Pokemon in the game. They had a DLC at some point that added new maps.
Really? I did not know that.
In this game,
I didn't even know this game got DLC.
So enjoyable. It makes me so happy. It's a beautiful game. It's just a hard game to play without being happy with it. And while it may not have the replayability where I'd want to like wipe my save clean and try again, I still really enjoy going back and trying to max out my score or just getting a better photo of a Pokemon. It's actually a game I've been thinking about going back and playing a little bit more, especially with the Switch 2 to see if it runs just a little bit better. I love this game.
Ooh, that would have to be very interesting. I don't know if I've seen anyone talk about Pokemon Snap on Switch 2.
Perfect the way it is.
It obviously has to look amazing because it's like one of the best looking games for Pokemon right now.
Play that game and have
outside of maybe Let's Go. I can't think of any other game that looks better.
Perfect game and a really perfect side game. I feel like we didn't get a ton of side games in the, you know, the Switch era. It'd be nice to get a few more in the Switch 2 era.
Yeah, definitely need some more.
I think this is an incredibly underrated game and honestly a very forgotten about game for a lot of people. So if you haven't played new Pokemon Snap, I would highly recommend it. I think
I'll get around to it. I'm waiting for Legends DA.
What am I gonna name this tier? Gosh, I love Pokemon Snap. I think this is the GOAT spin-off game, and you know what? I'm gonna let it be known. But now we're into the top 2.
It has to be
Legends Arceus
Sword and Shield
and Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I actually think what I'm gonna put here is Pokemon Sword
Yep.
and Pokemon Shield. Now, Pokemon Sword and Shield are really interesting games to look back at. I remember pretty clearly when these games first dropped, there were a lot of people that were really upset with the games. And being a Pokemon content creator at the time was really bizarre. I felt like pretty early on, a lot of people fell off playing these games and didn't really know what kind of content to make of them. But as time went on, it was just incredibly clear that as the Switch kept selling, more and more and more and more people got into Pokemon through Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's insane. Really second, right games. Behind.
Now, unfortunately, I do think
red and green, or red and blue.
Is the DLCs.
Red, green, and blue.
And not everyone has the money to spend for those DLCs. Not everyone was able to play them. But for me, as someone who did play through those games and play through the DLC a lot,
I did not actually play through the DLC.
Ridiculous amount to this game.
I have seen the DLC though, but I have never actually played through it myself.
These games, I think they're a little bit more.
Honestly, I gotta give a lot of respect to Sword and Shield though, because like these are the games that pretty much kind of brought me back. Because for a while, I really wasn't like the biggest fan. Kind of fell out in Gen 5, just because I really didn't enjoy it as a kid. Gen 6 was kind of fun, but like barring the megas, didn't really connect with it. Anime was great, but still wasn't fully in. Gen 7, never really liked it. That's probably my least favorite Pokemon games. And then all of a sudden, Sword and Shield came out. And I don't know what it was. It's probably just because I got like a free copy from my older brother. And I played it with no expectations. Like, I didn't know anything about the game. And I actually fell in love with it. So, honestly, it's understandable. I do think these games are definitely kind of slept on. They're not bad games. A lot of customization. A lot of great Pokemon. I feel like the starters obviously get a lot of flack. But they're still, like, pretty good. I love Cinderace, obviously. Mascot Pokemon. But I really do agree. It's a great game.
Like
it's a great game.
Violet, as you do
don't know if I would say it's the second best.
Moving forward,
but great game.
Like you're running through the open world and it's like, oh, I can go to Gym 1, then I'm going to do Gym 4 next, then this and that and the other. It is still a linear progression, which is nice. It's a little bit easier in that way to have a different experience every time you play.
I will say though, one big thing about this game that I am not a big fan of, the story. The story was so forgettable. Because anytime something along with the story would happen, it's just like, hey, what's your thoughts on this? Oh, okay, you basically confirmed my theory. Or, hey, there's something happening, but don't worry, Leon's gonna handle it. Like, I feel like the story really just wasn't there. The characters, though, I definitely do think they get a little bit underrated by most people. The actual characters are actually really good, especially the rivals. Like, each of them has, like, a very fitting ending to their whole story. I really enjoyed that.
An incredible addition to the game. I really like the blend of traditional routes and the wild area, and the best thing they did was make both DLCs 2 brand new wild areas. That's exactly what I wanted from that game, from the DLC.
And I wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if Legends EA is trying to capture that, because it looks like with the wild zones or whatever, they're trying to do like the wild areas. And I wonder if it's because maybe they think people don't like Scarlet and Violet in the open world aspect, and they're trying to backtrack to Gen 8. I wonder if that's the case. I'm not sure.
In a pretty wonderful way. I just think they're games that were a little too overhated. There was a lot of feelings coming into them that I think were very loud, and the majority of people just enjoyed the games for what they were, and I think they've gotten better and better as time moved forward.
Yeah, definitely not bad games.
Some flaws with Pokemon Sword and Shield. They are not.
There's flaws with any Pokemon game. Regardless of which one it is, there's going to be a flaw.
Time goes forward,
don't care what anyone says.
That in a more positive light. Now, I could dive into things a little bit more specifically, but when it comes to this list, I don't want to go through and what has the best story and the best characters and the best this and the best that. I'm just kind of looking back and thinking about how these games made me feel. And while it is a little bit odd to have Sword and Shield so much higher than Scarlet and Violet, I think the difference with Sword and Shield is as time has progressed, they've gotten better and better and better for me. And Scarlet and Violet, I've enjoyed playing as time has gone on, but it's almost been something where I've felt forced to play them. They've been the newest games for such a long time, and I want to come up with reasons to play them. I love Pokemon. I want there to be a new challenge or something to do. And realistically, the biggest knock on Pokemon Sword and Shield that I probably should have mentioned by now was really just shiny hunting was pretty bad in these games. It was pretty broken
really?
in the actual method, and if you weren't doing Masuda hunting, you didn't really have much of a shot. But then the final DLC gave us a really unique and really fun way to shiny hunt, and not only shiny hunt, but possibly get shiny legendaries. It's a game where it just felt like as time went on, they just added more and more that was really good. So by the time they were done and the games were fully released with all the DLC, pretty phenomenal games. On the other side, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet needed an entirely new console to drop for them to be finished, finalized, great.
And it just took way too long.
Aged like fine wine. And this, of course, only leaves one single
Legends Arceus.
Pokemon
Legends. It may not be my all-around favorite game, but you can't say it's a bad game.
Absolutely.
Like, these games are just so good.
At this point,
and honestly, like, I do kind of want to go back and like actually play it in full, because I've only played a little bit of it, and I fell in love with it, and I haven't gone around to going back. I do want to play it on stream. I wonder my opinions will change.
Attempted with this outside of the competitive side of it. You know, it's not really a game that's meant for Pokemon battling, and that's kind of the beauty of it. In the past, I've done a lot of competitive Pokemon, and it's really cool to see Pokemon moving in a direction where we can have a game like this that's completely different. It's a completely new try of the Pokemon experience. And now in the future, we're going to have a game that's completely built around competitive Pokemon. We don't have to merge everything together and try to please everyone. I feel like
can't wait for Champions, by the way. I really want to play that.
Specific audience, and at least for me, very happy. Really love everything about this game.
And I really can't think of anything that I really hate.
Back to the game.
You know, there's definitely some things I prefer in other games maybe, but otherwise it is generally fine. You know, like I don't have too much bad to say about the game.
I just really enjoy every aspect of it. The way you catch Pokemon is so satisfying. Flying around the map and hoping to hear the shiny sound, you go into the air is great. I really love the alpha Pokemon. The story was really fun and phenomenal, and just the 5 different areas are so unique. All of the Hisuian forms are fantastic. I just really freaking
don't know if I can agree with that. I like a lot of them. I don't know if I can say all of them.
Incredibly exciting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it as much as these games.
Probably not. I'm gonna say right now, I probably won't like it as much, even with the limited amount of time I had on it. Probably won't, but I hope that people brings their expectations down, and they're not hoping like, oh, it's gonna be bigger and better than Arceus, because I don't really think that's gonna happen.
And give it a few bells and whistles, but for my taste, I think it's a lot better to get a completely new experience of an old region, and that's what Legends Arceus was. And it's a Pokemon game I would recommend to absolutely anyone. Legendary. It just feels right. But there you have it, my entire
that was a great list. I kind of agree with some things, and honestly, even where we did disagree on, I can understand why he would put them there. So honestly, great video, PM7. Hopefully you don't mind me reacting to this. Also, anyone watching this, let me know your list and how you would rank them. What are your opinions on games? What do you think about Legends EA? Do you think it's going to be really good? Do you not really care? Or even Pokemon Champions, because I know not a lot of people have been talking about that rather recently. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.